there we go. And just before we get started with episode 98, we're 2 episodes away from the big 100. I want to thank my sponsors, the beautiful people, my boy Ian 30. Look at that fresh new logo he popped out right there. Shout out my boy Ian. He does my intros, my outros, the Instagram clips, the Facebook reels, all that good stuff. Is the good homie Ian. Go subscribe to his YouTube. He does pretty cool hype package work if you hit him up for some good work. And then we also got the Skittle Squad. Shout out Little Skittle doing the damn thing every Wednesday in the Discord. We're on the road to King of the Yard, Yardcore 4, Truxton, New York. Be there or you are the big square. I'm going to be there. Hit up me, hit up Skittle. Be there. It's honestly one of the greatest vibes you will ever see this summer. And we also got Pookie Wrestlers outside the Canadian region. Shout out Pookie bringing all these great Pookie-fied wrestler designs, just like this one right here. Get yourself Pookie-fied today. And we also got the Bocce Boys. Shout out Hammer and the crew. I got the flag right behind me, right behind that vacuum cleaner right there. But they also got shirts, 8x10 stickers, all that good stuff. You want some fresh, cool wrestling merchandise, bocceboys.com. And also check us out Monday nights. Sometimes I like popping in there and causing some ruckus with the boys. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all that good stuff. And last but not least, my homegirl, B-Dub Photos. Shout out Becca Dub doing the damn thing. Get a cool photographer to do the cool photographer thing. And my guest for the evening, a name who I'm not very familiar with, but I've seen him in the works of places like Beyond Wrestling, JCW Wrestling Open, 3 Legacies, for the Tarp of Death, which we are going to talk about. And if you don't know who I'm talking about the handyman Jake Gray is here in the Soup Kitchen Studios. Jake, how are you doing on this lovely evening?
I'm doing real good. It's been a real good day. You know, I've been real busy. I've got off work, working on getting some gear made for some big shows this upcoming weekend. So, you know, it's been a busy week, or busy day plus week.
Hell yeah. We always love new gear coming in the works. You got some of the coolest gear, honestly, obviously being the handyman. You come out with the cool one piece and the boots, which I think is so cool and one of a kind for a fresh young talent to be doing something like that. So I love the character work you got, my friend. And that actually will bring me to this question. Since you're the handyman, first fan submitted question of the night, actually, what is some of your favorite things to fix?
Oh, that's a good question. I would probably say wrestling rings are number one, considering how much I have to fix them. I fix those a lot. What are some other fun things to fix? Usually when it comes to fixing stuff, it's usually not fun, if that makes sense. I feel like when you're fixing things, it's a little I would say wrestling rings are fun to fix though. I will say that. Cuz they're so unique and
Absolutely.
It's always something dumb or something weird that caused the issue.
100%. I've had my fair share of building the rings, so I did. They are definitely a unique thing to like. God forbid a board breaks or a rope snaps mid-show. Oh God, we've all seen those shows where it's either the middle one's gone, the top one's gone, the bottom one's gone. It's crazy. Those shows work wonders. And that'll actually now bring me to this question. You talk about the wrestling ring, Jake Gray. What made you want to become a professional wrestler? And any memory of your first wrestling match?
So first, okay, I'm assuming when they say first match ever, I'm assuming it's the first ever one I saw.
Oh no, it's the first ever one you got in the ring and had.
Oh, okay, I remember that one. It wasn't that long ago. It was like 2 years ago. Because I've only debuted I made my debut in 2024. I wrestle a lot, but I haven't been around for a while. I do remember my first match. It was against one of my fellow students at the BioPro school. We both got sent out to this there was a different wrestling school that was holding like a student show, so they sent me and my friend Brian to go do a student match there on the show. So, and I remember being petrified. It was legit, like the room is like in a closet basically, and there was probably maybe 20 people total, but like all my family showed up. And me and Brian had a real fun match. I haven't watched that back in a while. I honestly probably should. And what made me get into wrestling was just the love for it, like just the love and just the aspirations for it just continued to spiral over time. Like it went from just watching it to buying the action figures to playing the video games, and then when I got my license, I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. You know, what's the worst that can happen? Maybe I can at least have one match. Like that would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Just so much about wrestling just rules. It's just like it's such a unique form of storytelling that I feel like no other thing is able to achieve, if that makes sense.
100%. Honestly, I am curious to know, Jake Gray, what was the first wrestling match that really grabbed you? Now I'm curious. You brought that part up.
All right. So I started watching in 2014. I'm very young. Um, my first ever WWE show was in 2014, and I think it was something like it might have been like a Cesaro versus like a Rollins or something. Like, so my story of how wrestling got introduced to me is that I'm a huge horror movie fan. Horror movie, sci-fi, crappy movies in general. And I think at the time, sci-fi was on, or SmackDown was on the Sci-Fi Channel at the time. So like some crappy movie finishes up, and I'm like in the background, just like kind of like being a kid, you know, playing around. And I just didn't switch the channel, and like wrestling was on in the background, and I just didn't switch the channel. I just really started to love it, and like I slowly got me hooked in. My friend ended up having all the action figures, so then like I started using the action figures, started doing the trampoline wrestling, and then I hurt my brother on the trampoline. So then
Oh no!
it got banned it got banned from the house for a little bit. But then and then around 2016, I got really back into it, and it just hasn't stopped since.
Hell yeah! And you said 2 years. That is crazy. And you've wrestled for so many places. And that'll now bring me to this question, Jake. I brought it up in the beginning. You wrestled for CZW. I gotta know. Tell us about your Tarp of Death experience. I have asked this to every person I've had on here that was in it. It has been asked because it was a one of a kind thing.
So Tarp of Death was unique. I don't think I'll ever have an experience like it again. I'm am very lucky that due to the New England independent scene being so massive that I don't travel as much. So like going to Delaware for TOD is the farthest I've traveled for wrestling. Besides
Oh,
maybe
hell yeah.
Ohio, I think maybe Ohio's like probably maybe a little farther than where I went in Delaware, but like I ended up going by myself. I picked up Brando Lee halfway on the way down, and I was like, "Yo, Brando, like let's just come with me. Let's just go to do TOD." And because I remember asking Ricky after I did, because Ricky Shane Page is one of my coaches at the bio school. I did my first death match for Beyond in like summer, and I was like, "Hey Ricky, what do I gotta do to be on TOD? TOD? Like, what is necessary for me to do just so I can get a spot or anything?" And he told me about the Tarp of Death, and immediately I said I was in. I said, "Whatever I need to do, etc., I'll do it." It was fun. I got to have like kind of some creative like freedom with it, which kind of sick. Like I got put in charge of like arranging how the weapons were laid out on the tarp and like shit like that. So like that was really cool. Those are like the type of things I really like in wrestling. Is like like, oh, we need the weapons for the show. Oh, Handyman's got it. You know, we trust.
Oh yeah.
For the show. It was just like a cool like I had never been to a TOD. Like I've watched them a million times, and it was just like such an experience.
Oh yeah.
The rain made it insane. Um, and I remember we were all in the back, and as soon as it started raining, I think I turned to like JV Anderson and I said, "Yo, dude, nothing that we said is gonna happen in this tarp match is gonna happen now." And
oh yeah.
none of it happened. I had a lot of fun with that though. I'm a little lucky though that I knew the camera operators very well because like the IWTV camera operators, shout them out, Jimmy and Ray, two of the greatest like production people in all of wrestling.
We love Jimmy and Ray here at Soup Kitchens and the Superstar Spotlight.
So like as soon as I hopped up on the as soon as I was on the tarp, I was like, all right, I gotta go find Jimmy. I gotta go find where the camera is. And I got to do some cool like dumb stuff. Like I wasn't in the tarp for a while, but like a lot of the moments and a lot of stuff I did, I saw like ended up going pretty like I'll say like in terms of the rest of the tarp ended up going pretty viral, and like people were naming me and like, hey, handouts with the Tarp of Death, and that meant a lot to me because like CZW and deathmatch wrestling is I'm the biggest fan of it. Like I was in middle school, high school, sitting back in class instead of doing my work. I had my tablet hopped up and I'm watching I'm watching Nick Gage versus RSP, and I'm watching classic CZW. So like the fact that like people were telling me like, "Yo, Handyman was awesome at TOD," like that meant a shit ton to me. Yeah, Tarpa Def was such a unique experience that I don't think I will ever be able to replicate in any way.
Oh yeah, it was so one of a kind, and hopefully, I will say, hopefully it comes back, but hopefully the weather is better,
I
so
don't
it
know,
can
man.
be a
That
crispy
rain made that
product.
show so awesome.
Oh yeah, it was definitely. Oh my god, yeah, the finals though with all that friggin' the thunder and it was pouring. That was pretty cool.
It was incredible.
But the tarp of death turned into the ultraviolet slip and slide pretty quick, so that's the one thing I'll say about it. But hey, no one can control the rain. And that now brings me to this question. You saying you're a big fan of death matches, Jake Gray. I gotta know then. Is there anyone on your deathmatch bucket list? Anyone who obviously maybe probably Ricky Shane Page?
Obviously, Ricky. Like, give me Ricky any day of the week. I think Cruel's a guy that I've wanted to wrestle just in general forever. I would love to run it back with 4825, Jaden Newman and Jameson Shook. I'd love to run it back with them again. Schlack's an obvious one. Schlack is a, like, come on, dude.
Oh my goodness!
Schlack would be great. I mean, Gage, I feel like Gage is on everyone's bucket list when it comes to deathmatch wrestling. Also, there's another reason why, which is one of my other coaches, because my two coaches, or I have three coaches, Brian Malonis, Thomas Sentel, and Ricky Shane Page. Thomas Sentel in Beyond Wrestling was in a tag team with Nick Gage called Nerder Death Kill.
So I'm very familiar with that team. Oh yes,
it would be a little like poetic if I got to face Gage as well. I feel like those are the obvious answers. I would love to wrestle JB Anderson. I've been kind of asking for that for a while. Gabe Sky, someone I've been wanting to wrestle for a while. Who else? There's a lot of good deathmatch guys on the scene right now. Yeah, like I said, Mad Dog Connolly would be awesome.
Oh hell yeah!
But I would very much say I think like the top guys right now I would say like are Gabe Sky, Schlack, and I would say probably Cruel.
I like those are some crazy opponents for you. If I ever see Cruel versus Jake Gray, oh my, I'm gonna make sure to tune in for that one, and I'll make sure to be rooting for you, brother, because Cruel's a big tall task.
Dude, I've been asking for that match for a while. I think I do have a death wish, but eventually, if I continue asking, eventually I'll get it, right?
Oh yeah, totally. And that now brings me to this question here, Jake Gray. 2 years in, what are some of your favorite wrestling matches you've had so far? We talked the dream matches. Now we can talk some of the favorites.
Me versus Alex Reynolds from Wrestling Open is like an automatic. That's like a go-to. Like, I felt like I was on a different level. Alex Reynolds brought something out of me I didn't think I had in me. Me versus my coach, Thomas Santel, is an obvious one. It's also at the Worcester Palladium, which is one of my favorite venues of all time. Me and Rex Lawless at Ralph's Rock Diner is gonna always first ever death match for me. First ever time I bled in a ring. And that was also a cool one for me because I remember sitting down with Drew and we were kind of like talking about the show. I was like, yo, Drew, did I wrestle Rex in a Symphony of Destruction match? Because we were supposed to do it for Ricky's birthday deathmatch show. And we ended up not doing it because like the card ended up getting changed. So like, hey, what, can we do Symphony of Destruction again? So like I got put in charge of it. Like I had to go out and buy all the instruments and everything. That's an obvious one. What else? I would say those are probably like the top three. Another one is like me versus Dustin Waller on Wrestling Open. That's another really good match I had. Let me think. I had a really fun. This is probably the most fun match I've had in my career, which was me, Dan Barry, Gabe Sky, and Bobby Orlando versus Spike, Little Mean Kathleen, Gabby Forza, and Davian at Ricky's birthday show.
Oh my god, that sounds chaotic as all hell.
It was extremely fucking chaotic, but probably one of the most fun matches I've ever had in my career. I would say those are like probably like five that like I would say are my favorites, but also I would tell people to go out and watch.
Hell yeah, I love that. Now we also have this one here, Jake Gray. What is the future looking like for Bombs Over Beyond?
Hopefully we pick up our first win soon. We've been a little winless so far. Of course, we do have a match this upcoming Friday for Beyond Wrestling. It's going to be me, Cha-Cha, and Ricky versus, like I just said, Rex Lawless, RJ Rude, and Nick Robles. So hopefully, we're gonna shut their mouths up, stop them from singing, and get the win finally. But hopefully, Bombs Over Beyond just continue doing it. Like getting to team with Ricky and getting to have his mind in matches has been incredible. It'd be kind of cool to bring it some other places. Like we've ended up bringing it to NYWC recently. Maybe CZW because both me and Ricky wrestled there. Maybe Alpha One where Ricky wrestles. But it's a very awesome opportunity because Cha Cha rules and Cha Cha doesn't get enough praise in my opinion. So like him being able to team with like someone like Ricochet Page really helps Cha Cha, which is awesome because Cha Cha rules. And just having someone like Ricochet Page attached to you is so good because he's so smart and one of the best to ever do it, in my opinion, especially when it comes to independent wrestling.
Absolutely.
The dude's been wrestling longer than I've been alive.
Oh, 100%. It's crazy. Watching back old Ricky Shane Page matches, the TOD where he dressed up like Bailey. I love watching that one back. That's one of my favorite Ricky deathmatch moments. But hell yeah. Now we also have this one here. Jake Gray, what are some of your pro wrestling goals? I mean, 2 years in, anything crazy, hoping maybe you make it to 5 years.
The long-term goal in wrestling is to do it as long as I can and still enjoy it. Which so far I would definitely say I have. Like, you can't stop me, I think, anytime soon. Like, I'm on a roll and I don't plan on stopping. Main eventing a Beyond show is something that I've wanted to have as a bucket list goal for a very long time because I've main evented Wrestling Open 3 times, which is I'm extremely proud of. But like, Beyond is like our pay-per-views to the Wrestling Opens basically. So it would be an extreme honor to get to main event a Beyond Wrestling show. I would love to win a tournament or compete in a tournament, specifically maybe a deathmatch tournament, maybe something that has 3 letters that starts with a T and ends with a D. That would be that's a plan, or I'm gonna try to see what I can do to get those puzzle pieces to fit together this year. But like I said, I really would just say this year I very much want to just get my name higher, and also I just want to get more fit. Like I would very much say last year I very much focused on just trying to wrestle as much as possible. So I very much think this year I want to get as in shape and like as muscular as I possibly can.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, I signed up for the gym when I moved out here to the Midwest, so it's always good to have the goal to slow down, get fit, get a little stronger than usual. Feels good too on the body and on the mind. And now, Jake, if you ever watch this podcast, we talk a little wrestling, and now we go absolutely left field. My favorite part. I gotta know, Jake Gray, any cool interests outside of pro wrestling?
So I'm gonna sadly say that wrestling has consumed my life, and I don't have a lot outside of them. Besides like spending time with my girlfriend and or playing video games. But like if it's wrestling related, it's usually fully wrestling related. Like, oh, hey, this cool thing, I've started getting good at video editing. Oh, what am I video editing? Oh, it's wrestling videos.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting good at like cricket material and like ironing on t-shirts and designs and stuff. What am I ironing on? I'm ironing on jumpsuits and merch. I would say maybe horror movies or just film in general. Like I'm a very big film guy. Like I just like going to the movies and when I'm at work, because like I'm due to my job, I kind of get like a little bit of like downtime in between stuff. So like I'll have a movie on in my laptop or my phone in the background. So I'd say maybe movies, honestly. Like there's probably my go-to. I've been going to a lot of concerts recently, like really engaging in the music scene. Like my upcoming jumpsuit that I'm going to be debuting this March 1st at CZW, all of the designs are like inspirations or like versions of my favorite bands of all time, and like it's all moshed together. And I'm very proud of how that jumpsuit's coming out. I actually gonna get the finishing touches done on it as soon as we're done here. But I would say maybe music and horror movies, or just like film in general. But really, just I'm very lucky that my life and my schedule has allowed me to do wrestling as much as I can. Where we have Wrestling Open Rhode Island on Mondays, and then I have training on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and then we have Wrestling Open on Thursdays, and then I can get booked on a show Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And guess what?
Oh, yeah.
Come next Monday, I'm wrestling again in Rhode Island, and then I got training
Yep.
Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm very lucky that I get to do wrestling as much as I can, but I think as a result, I don't have any hobbies outside of it.
Well, don't worry, Jake, because we got plenty of questions about movies and music right here. I gotta know, Jake, rate your top 5 horror movies. That was one of the fan submitted questions, actually.
Okay, well, number one of all time has to be The Thing. I have the tattoo on my arm. It's greatest movie of all time. Like you can't even top it. What are some other top 5 horror movies? Okay.
Obviously, most people say no order, so I expect nonetheless.
Here's the thing: is that when it comes to horror for me, for some reason, I lump franchises together as one film. So I'm like tempted to say like a Freddy or a Jason film, but like I don't think I can pick a single Freddy or Jason because no offense to those movies, they aren't good on their own. They're good all together.
Oh, yeah.
Um, the Saw franchise is a big one for me. That's a massive one for me. Freddy and Jason, fucking favorite movies of all time. I saw all of the Jason movies by the time I was 8 years old, which I shouldn't have, but yeah, I can't think of singular movies. I would say like The Thing, top all time, then maybe like franchises, Saw, Jason, Freddy. And then I feel like I gotta say one more actual movie. Hmm. Hmm.
He's
Oh,
thinking
I,
hard,
I I got
ladies
a
and
good one. I
gentlemen.
got a good one. You're Next.
Oh, hell yeah.
Your Next absolutely rules. I think that was one of the real ones that kind of like really got me over the fresh like that like because I was like watch because the way I got into horror movies is I would go over to my godfather's house and we would sit out in the garage. He would sit next to me and he would smoke a cigar and we just have horror movies on in the background. Like I would always be into them, but not really. I remember Your Next was the first one that really got me hooked in. Um, so I think those are the 5. I would say The Thing, Saw movies, Jason movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, and then You're Next. I think to be fair, since they asked movies, I think my favorite Jason movie. It's either Jason X or Part 6. Jason X is a really underlooked Jason movie. It's not good, but it's so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I would say Part 6 though. I think that's the most like classic Jason, in my opinion. And then for Freddy movies, I would say probably my favorite has to be number 3, Dream Warriors. I feel like that's everyone's pick though. Um,
Yeah,
I think
he's
Wes,
spreading now.
I think Wes Craven's New Nightmare is extremely underrated. I think more people need to think that movie fucking rules. And then
Hell yeah.
Saw movies. Saw is rough because I like a lot of those. I honestly might say Saw 10. I thought Saw 10 absolutely ruled.
I have not seen Saw 10 yet. I probably should soon, but I
It,
do
it
love me
was
a good Saw movie.
it was real good. I would say that's the list. You got The Thing, Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Friday the 13th Part 6, Saw 10, and You're Next.
Hell yeah. And now we have this one. This one I ask everybody. Jake Gray, your favorite movie of all time?
Well, like I said, it's The Thing. It's got to be The Thing. Like, it, great characters, great music, great pacing, great special effects, great acting. 10 out of 10 film. It will never be top for me.
Hell yeah. Now we go on to the music question here. If you could book your dream concert lineup, 3 to 4 bands or artists, can be anyone, anytime period, dead or alive, what would the lineup be?
All right, Ice Nine Kills.
Oh, hell yeah. That's one of my personal favorite bands. Great pick already off the bat.
Five Finger Death Punch, probably. Damn.
Got 2 more.
Yeah. There's this Boston band named Haywire that's really fucking good. that I wish more people knew about. I would say Haywire, and then maybe Bring Me the Horizon.
Hell yeah. Very good lineup right there.
Yeah, I think that's the lineup.
I love it. And now we go on to some of our favorite food questions here. I love asking the food questions. Jake Gray, I got to know your favorite on the road snack and beverage combo. What are some of your in the car necessities that you always have on you when traveling to the wrestling opens or the beyond?
White Monster go to. I like to do the White Monster, and I'll mix it with Minute Maid Fruit Punch. Yeah, it just gives it a little extra kick that like I really enjoy. For snack though, it's usually like trail mix, like a M&M raisin almond trail mix type thing. I would say those are probably the go-to. Yeah, I would say that's the go-to. Like if I'm on the road trip type scenario, it's gonna usually be a Monster and then some trail mix.
Hell yeah. And now we have this one, a fan submitted food question. Jake Gray, what is your perfect appetizer platter? You have up to 5 items.
Appetizers, okay. Pretzel bites or like pretzel sticks, chicken wings, French fries. Appetizers.
You got your mozzarella sticks, your cheese curds, your potato skins.
Is rice an appetizer?
I'd count it.
All right, so maybe some nice pork
A
fried rice.
nice bowl of rice. Oh, hell yeah, pork fried.
Yeah, nice pork fried rice.
I'd count it. Because that is technically a side.
And then it's gonna be another pretzel thing, but pretzels with hot dogs in them.
Oh, hell yeah, good old pigs in a blanket.
Yeah, I would say those.
Delicious. And now we have this one here. Jake Gray, what is your favorite kind of cookie?
I got a boring answer. Probably just chocolate chip.
Hey, listen. You may never. We actually, I feel like I've not heard chocolate chip in a minute on that question. So it's always good to hear that one, though. Nothing beats the classics. And now we also have this one, Jake Gray. What is your perfect pizza?
Perfect pizza?
Yes, perfect pizza.
I'm kind of simple. It's put some pepperoni and some chicken on there.
Oh, okay. Not many people do that combo.
It's just maybe specifically Domino's pepperoni and chicken. Like I don't know what it is, but that combination always hits for me. It gives me massive heartburn. But
The Domino's crust and cheese hits. It's like it's different than most pizza places. Oh,
sorry, I just had to check something real quick.
you are all good. Don't worry, Jake Gray. We got 4 questions left on the board. I gotta know, what is your favorite kind of sandwich?
Grilled cheese.
Oh, hell yeah. That is also my personal favorite, and nothing beats. I actually had 2 of those right before we got on here. Delicious, nice board. I was like, I need something nice and warm to get me ready for this one. And those grilled cheeses hit the spot. And now we have this one here. Jake Gray, 2 years deep. What has been the most gratifying moment of your wrestling career so far?
Probably when I wrestled my coach at the Palladium, and we got told we were one of the best matches of the night. That's an awesome feeling to have a match with your coach and have it be great.
Oh, yeah.
Probably that.
Hell yeah. And now, second to last question. Who is on your pro wrestling Mount Rushmore?
Okay, so are we talking personal or, in my opinion, the wrestling business Mount Rushmore?
Personal. Absolutely personal.
Okay. AJ Styles.
Recent WWE Hall of Fame inductee from what I just saw on the Twitter, on the Instagrams, actually.
Bray Wyatt. Darby Allin.
And the
I mean,
last
I
one.
I do the coffin drop, so that makes sense.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then I'm stuck between maybe Omega or Danielson. I think I'm leaning towards Omega though.
I like it. That is a solid, like, modern Mount Rushmore, honestly. I like that. That's solid. And now, Jake Gray, we're down to the last question. The final question, the whole reason we got this podcast, the deathmatch community has to know. Handyman Jake Gray, what is your favorite kind of soup?
Do you count ramen as soup?
Absolutely.
I probably got to go with classic like chicken noodle like ramen.
Hell yeah. That's a lot of people. We had a big debate about this on the DMU page. Everyone's like, ramen's not a soup. And I'm like, broth and noodles is in chicken noodle soup. It counts.
The real controversy is if you think cereal's a soup.
It's the sweet soup.
I guess I wouldn't.
That's the question I ask all the soup haters. Funny enough, anyone who doesn't eat soup, I usually ask the cereal question, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we can answer this one absolutely." But hell yeah. Jake Gray, we've hit the end of the interview. We talked the soups. Now I put you on the spotlight. Plug your social medias. Where can we see you next? All that good stuff. Merch plug if you got it.
Most of my socials are usually at PW Handyman. I think maybe there's some scenarios where it might be a little different, but if you look up Wrestling Handyman Jake Gray, you're gonna find me, I hope. This upcoming weekend, or these upcoming shows, this Friday, Beyond Wrestling, we have Ballroom Blitz. It's probably the biggest, craziest show we're ever doing. We have Mike Santana, we have Eddie Kingston, Ortiz, we have Laredo Kid, we have Mercedes Martinez. Like
Holy shit!
One of the craziest like indie wrestling show lineups in a very long time, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. And then this weekend, CZW, they got 2 shows back to back. 28th and the 1st, I am on both of them. I don't know what I'm doing on the 28th yet, but I do know it is the 1st. It will be me and Nico Gray in a home improvement death match.
Oh God!
For CZW's 27th anniversary, and plus I got a bunch of other stuff. Usually, just stay active on my social media. I'm pretty good at usually saying where I'm gonna be. Of course, you can usually find me most Thursdays and most Mondays on Wrestling Open, and if it's a Beyond Wrestling show, there's a pretty good chance I'm on it.
All I gotta tell you is, when you're doing that home improvement death match, get a toaster and smack Nico in the Gray in the head with it. I gave one of those to Mickey Knuckles a long time ago, and Chondo fucking whomped her in the head with it. So it'd be really good to see a good old toaster get used in the home improvement match. For the old hot dog's sake.
I'll write it down.
Hell yeah! And Jake Gray, before we put a big old bow on this episode, anything you want to tell the fans out there?
Wrestling rules. This shit's awesome. Like, there's no reason for this to cause any issues. Like, wrestling rules, and everyone should enjoy it. And I fucking love this shit, so I'm never gonna stop doing it unless I die.
Well, hell yeah! And for the handyman Jake Gray, I'm Dewey the Hot Dog. Deathmatch United, soups, death matches, and all good things in between. And I'll catch you on the next one.